Mr. Proud didn't think he was special at all. He had a job, but so did all his friends. He had a wife, but lots of people did. He even had 2 kids, but there were children everywhere. Really, anyone could have children nowadays. Mr. Proud worked hard to look after his family, and was very proud to say so. He'd always be there for them. But something happened to make Mr. Proud think again. He'd heard stories about flying green phones, but he thought, it'll never happen to me. Nothing ever does. Then from out of nowhere, a flying green phone smacked him fair on the head. Mr. Proud was confused. Who'd do such a thing? Someone offered Mr. Proud a helping hand. The man who belonged to the hand said, "I'm Mr. Easy. I saw everything. You look like you could use a coffee." "My friends and I see people just like you every day," said Mr. Easy. "They work hard to look after their family, but think life insurance is too hard to get, and that it would cost too much. Some people don't even think about it at all. It really is crazy. It can cost less than this coffee. It's easy, and I'm talking Paris Hilton easy." Mr. Proud's head was as sore as the morning after partying with Lindsay Lohan. What Mr. Easy said made sense, but he wasn't convinced. A man waved to Mr. Easy. He introduced himself to Mr. Proud. "Hi, I'm Mr. Integrity." Mr. Integrity worked with troubled souls. His latest client was Shane Warne. "He's putting my kids through boarding school," said Mr. Integrity. The men laughed. "You can always rely on Mr. Integrity to tell the truth," said Mr. Easy, "no matter how painful. Just like Mr. Easy in Speedos, I've got nothing to hide." "You need to know something? You talk to me," Mr. Integrity said in his best soprano's voice. "Si, Don Integrity," laughed Mr. Easy. Both their accents were terrible. Mr. Proud was beginning to get very hungry. "Any chance of a burger?" he said. "Even better," said Mr. Easy. "This is Little Miss Caring." Little Miss Caring jumped forward and gave Mr. Proud a big hug and took him by the hand. "Come inside," she said. "We're having a tea party. Let me look after you. There's cucumber sandwiches for everyone." "Any meat pies?" asked Mr. Proud. Inside, everyone was having a lovely time. It was a little different to the party Mr. Proud's neighbour held. And that was when Mr. Proud saw her. She smiled at him and winked. She was younger than everyone at the party. "I'm Little Miss Fresh," she said. "Word is, you hooked up with my boys, the insurance line crew." She continued. "Thing about my crew is we tell it straight. We're not afraid to be different. Get it?" Mr. Proud did. What she said was different, but it made sense. Everything except the bit about "for shizzle my nizzle." Mr. Easy was chatting to someone over the back fence. He looked a bit like Alf from Home and Away. Mr. Proud leant on the fence and introduced himself. The man replied, "G'day, mate. Fairgo's me name. That's the old lady, Mrs. Fairgo, but everyone calls us Joe and Flo. Mr. Easy here tells me you're the fellow who got sconed on the noggin," said Mr. Fairgo. "I'm glad you found Mr. Easy and his friends. Everyone deserves a fair go." He pointed to his dog, who was busily digging a hole in the garden. "Even that flamin' mongrel." "Let's get going," said Mr. Easy. "There's one more person we need to see." On the walk home, they turned into the park and saw a man training people doing all sorts of exercises. Push-ups, sit-ups, and odd things with a great big ball, just to name a few. The man shouted in support. "Work it like you want it! You can do it! There's nothing stopping you! Hi, I'm Mr. Empowering! Check out these guns!" He flexed his muscles, then turned and encouraged the group as they punched foam shields. "Sweat it! Don't fret it! You've got the power to be in control! I'm here to show you how!" He turned back to Mr. Proud and said, "I hear you've had a busy day and met all our friends. Did you have a favorite?" "To tell the truth," said Mr. Proud, "I like them all. I learnt so much from everyone." Mr. Empowering nodded to Mr. Easy, who said, "Well then, Mr. Proud, I think you're ready." Mr. Proud walked home by himself, thinking about his day. He kissed his wife and kids before picking up the phone and calling Insurance Line. "Hello," he said. "I'd like to look after my family."